Are you ready to make podcast magic and connect as individuals? What if we just...
Hey.
Well, that's how I started every pod.
Yeah, we just went for all audio listeners.
Oh, I was just thinking going... Hey.
Oh, fuck, Joe.
We have the surround
Joe,
sound.
oh, God, you're a fucking pussy.
No.
Joe, your
That's somebody
pussy's
else's
so
pussy.
warm
I'm
and
standing
tight.
over here.
I can't believe you have a vagina.
I don't know. I'm over here. No,
oh,
that's
my
not me.
God.
I have a penis.
Joe, you're...
Oh, it's actually, I don't even think you're having sex with a vagina. I think it's a guy's ass.
Oh, my gosh. Joe.
He's not attractive. He's an ugly man.
Joe.
What are we doing here?
Joe.
Is this our career?
Finish the bit.
Sorry.
Joe. Oh, Joe.
Is it you coming?
No, I'm having sex with you.
Yeah, are you about to come?
Yeah.
Okay, finish. So we can move on.
Oh.
What do you think?
Oh!
Do you make noise when you come?
Woo! Yeah, that's what I do.
You'd be like SpongeBob when he thinks he's the manager of the Krusty Krab.
Woo! Yeah, that's basically.
What do you actually sound like when you come? Like Link.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I. What do you sound like?
I sound like a fucking idiot. I feel
You go.
I'm gonna.
You go. Look, Joe. Let's be serious for a second. No, I don't really make a ton of noise.
You make noise during sex? Like you say stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah. Your pussy's so wet.
That's what she says.
Your butthole's so stinky.
Oh my God, your butt is so stinky.
Tastes so bad. What an opening. I don't know.
Are you comfortable doing like dirty talk?
It depends. Like, I mean, I don't know. Like, definitely there's one girl I've been with who was like, yeah, call me like a slut.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can't.
Yeah, one girl.
That doesn't sound...
Named Christoph.
Just could you imagine me saying that? It doesn't... I'm 5'7". It's
no, you can say it.
No, I just... when I do, it feels like so strange. Mostly like the demeaning stuff. It was like, I can... The one thing that used to drive is like I used to work is like when I used to like live closer to my roommates in terms of like the house.
Yeah.
If the lady was being loud, if you tell them to be quiet, it's like, you know, it gets them going for some reason. It's like you'd be a shut the fuck up, or, you know, like whatever. It's
you say shut the fuck up.
No, I don't say the F word, but you know, you go.
You say shut up.
No, you asked me about to shut the fuck up.
That's so mean.
You're the one who asked me about dirty. What do you say?
I say.
I say you smell great.
I say, may I enter you?
Yeah.
I say, milady.
Yeah.
Might I penetrate thee?
Yeah, kiss her hand and come.
Yeah, I kiss their hand and I go, as fair as a desert day, a rose petal's lips betwixt thine linen sheets. That's how I talk dirty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah, me talking dirty is just being like, is this okay? Is this is
You're like, oh,
my penis isn't too small, is it? This isn't disappointing for you?
She moans and you go, you don't mean that.
That's really what I'm saying. Shut up. Is like, wow, your penis is big. I go, shut up. No, it's not. You're lying.
Shut up, liar. I didn't know I was having sex with a liar.
Yeah, I cry.
Yeah. I mean, I've never had a woman say anything like, oh, your cock's so big.
No, I would never believe that.
No, they've never said that.
I've heard perfect.
Yeah.
Which is the same thing as saying average.
Yeah.
Saying you have a perfect dick is the same as saying like, wow, it's that's all you need.
It's good.
Yeah, that's all. That's
good.
Satisfying. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. You know?
Well, and I think my bit about big dicks being too big is probably true. I think I've heard enough stories of girls saying it's more uncomfortable.
Right.
And you really don't need it. But as a guy, it does like, it almost is this weird thing of like, you don't even need it. That's not even part of the equation. You're just it's for you. You're the big penis.
Having a big penis is for a man.
Yeah.
That's why men are obsessed with it and women aren't. So like some are.
That's why you're obsessed with it.
No, I'm not.
Yep. That's why you assume that everybody's obsessed with it.
Well, I was speaking in generalities first of all, and it's very clear from from media representation, from the way people speak on online platforms,
the way I dream about it at night,
and my personal, like, how do I, my personal, intense craving for a cock in my ass. That's
this. I feel this one and the last one, it does start very sexual.
Yeah,
we're a little sex podcast. Let's have people come in with like questions.
It's called the JeanJax podcast.
Well, didn't you just say your mom was saying that you slashed on the podcast?
Yes, my mother was saying.
Does that mean she's seen the podcast?
I asked her, I go, you watched the whole once? And she goes, no. I was like, what? She goes, I watched the clips. She says, I watched the clips. I'm your mother. I'm like, what does that have to do with anything? You could listen to my podcast, Bobby. You could listen to my podcast, Bobby.
No, I would hate my mother to listen to the podcast.
Yeah, I would hate your mother listening to the podcast too.
Mm-hmm.
Because me and your mother have a special kind of relationship.
I don't want to hear about this.
Where, to her, I'm almost like an animal. I'm almost.
Because you're ugly and smelly.
Yeah, because I'm ugly. I'm like Beast from Beauty and the Beast to her, where she's like my little princess. And what I do to your mother is, it's almost like against God or against
because
religion.
It's homosexual. Because you're
fucking
a guy.
When I have sex with your mom, it's gay.
No, you never even said you're having. You said what I do with her is
against God.
Against God.
It's sodomy is involved.
She's fucking your ass.
No,
no. My mom's rails your fucking butt.
Yeah, maybe sometimes. It still counts as fucking your mom.
Yeah.
But what about that guy who's like, dude, I totally fucked your mom? The story is that he got pegged in the ass by your mom.
I'd almost be like, hey, I'm glad she's helping you.
Yeah, I'd be like, I can't believe my mother likes this.
No, I have no idea what I would do if I came home one day, like back home, and you were getting pegged by my mom. I don't know how I would react.
Yeah, you wouldn't know it was me.
Why?
Because of my tight leather mask on my head. And I'm going, she goes, horse, you want more?
She's feeding you hay and like apples. And you're just
I have like a oat bag. That'd be sexy, dude. Would you rather have sex with a horse or a horse have sex with you?
I'd rather have sex with a horse.
Ew, dude, you want to fuck a horse?
No, I want to get fucked by
Ew!
No, I want to get fucked. I want to fucking run.
You want to get fucked by a horse? The answer was $1 million. You could have just
the answer was neither.
Yeah, you could have done neither. You could have done neither. Some guy, you ever get got with the like, would you rather fuck your dad in the ass or your dad fuck you in the ass or fuck your mom? Have you heard that thing?
No.
So the bit is like you're lying down on a bed, right? All three of you are on your side. Your mom's on the end. You're in the middle. Your dad's behind you. And you say, you have to get out, but you have to go forward into your mom's vagina or backwards into your dad's erect cock. Yeah. Which way do you go?
I feel like there's some sort of obvious solution to this. So wait, I'm on my back, or wait,
you're all on your side like this.
Why don't you just get up? Yeah.
Someone asked me that, and I go, I guess I'd rather get fucked by my dad. They go, you could have gotten up. You could have just gone sideways.
Well, if you had already kind of hinted at that there was a solution.
Yes.
But if there was a binary, I'd probably. I think that's tough.
I'd rather get fucked by my dad.
Well, like either way, is it just a 1 second thing?
Yeah, you just have to be entered or enter, and then you can leave.
I mean. They're both pretty. It's almost like less incestual seeming to get fucked by your dad.
Yeah, to me.
Yeah, why is that? Because it's gay?
Well, because I think it's a more passive role.
As opposed to getting a boner and fucking
your mom. Instead of actively fucking your mother, you're just like getting fucked by your dad. But I feel like
getting entered is such a harder thing. You gotta, dude, gay dudes gotta.
That's what I mean. Like, I'd rather go through something painful like that than do something pleasurable.
For you, it'd be pleasurable, weirdo.
Well, I'm just saying physical sensation wise.
Yeah, well, it's also, it's like, yeah, entering and leaving a pussy would take a second, and it wouldn't be a big, nobody's getting hurt, and it's not that big of a deal.
Right.
Whereas getting fucked in the ass is, I don't think that, I mean, if it's a second, that's a hard
no, I know what
fucking
you're saying.
stroke.
I know what you're saying because, like, if you were to get fucked in the ass, you wouldn't want to leave.
No.
Yeah, you're saying if you got fucked in the ass.
Maybe if it wasn't my dad.
Go, I can't.
Maybe if it was.
One more time.
If it was you, maybe.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
No, but also, you're right though. It would be sans lube, just a dry butt. You know, that would be.
If I had like butt plugged it for a day and like kind of got it
out,
ready,
you know, your dad's got KY
have you
jelly
ever done butt stuff? Never even approached him.
No.
Oh, okay.
With my pee-pee, no.
Well, that was, I think, the issue that I faced with when I had tried it was I had zero idea that there was that much prep involved, and we kind of was like, oh, you use lube and you're fine, and it's like, no, that's like an all day thing. They gotta like
maybe
eat right. I don't know. I don't think.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I don't think gay people can have like spontaneous sex. Like
no, they can't have spontaneous anal sex.
Or there's always ready.
Well, yeah, I mean,
there's probably always in the back of their mind is, will I have sex today? What am I eating?
It's like my plan is to go out tonight. I'm gonna like
give myself an enema,
meet a handsome guy, and do the bidet, eat light. You know?
Yeah, it's got to be tough being gay.
Yeah,
mostly just because of how much goes into getting fucked.
Right. I think I was hearing like Tim Dillon talk about that like he was dispelling some myth on a podcast. Like, gay guys aren't just running around fucking each other in the ass. Like, you might suck them off, jerk them off. There's a lot of sucking and jerking, more so than.
Oh, it's like lesbos.
Yeah, kind of like
a lot of sucking and jerking.
Yeah, it's a lot of sucking and jerking, just because pragmatically, my beehole ain't ready. You know,
yeah.
Which makes sense, especially because like I'm as a straight man. Any woman who's like approached my beehole, in the back of my mind, I'm like, I don't know what's going on in there. You know, like there's poop, there's hair.
Oh, I'm like, you stay the fuck away from there.
Yeah, it's the sewage.
For your sake.
Yeah, it's the manhole, dude.
Yeah.
It's the manhole.
Yeah. No, I mean, the butt is, because I've been in situations recently of just like, because every time I'm with a new lady, I'm reminded just how badly I have to shit.
Yeah.
Is like all the time, or like fart all the time.
Am I distracting you?
Yeah, a little bit.
Do you think I can solve it without looking?
Yeah.
I can't. All right, you go. We'll have a timer running. You were talking about putting guys' dicks in your ass?
No.
Wait, hold on. I'm gonna solve it. Look how fast I am. I just want all the listeners to know that we're smart.
Yeah. This is great. This is great content.
Well, hold on.
I mean, isn't your record like a minute?
Yeah, it's
I was almost just waiting for you to stop.
Yeah,
I don't think you are.
I thought you were gonna keep talking.
No, okay. Well, I can see that you can pay attention to two things at once.
I can talk.
I just want your full attention. It's like when you text, where you're in a different universe.
I literally am completely.
The moment you started dating Skate, it was like 50% capacity at all times.
That's not true.
50% talk to me, 50% drafting a fucking love letter or whatever.
Maybe I am.
Or a roast or something. It's like half you're talking to me, and I know the other half of your brain is dedicated to telling Skate she's gonna eat her own shit.
I'm like, how do I tell her she's gonna eat her own poopy, but like in a different creative way? Because like I've told her she's gonna eat her own poop, but like maybe I say, oh, they're having a special down at Golden Corral, all you can eat poop.
Yeah, I mean, I do like getting updated on whatever
on the different poop roasts I've told her. Sometimes I'll like catch myself and be like, okay, I'm not gonna do it. You know, like yesterday I was like, oh, I don't have shit to eat at my house, and I was like, I'm almost done.
Does it feel good to be able to do that? Like,
should I
learn how to do it?
I thought you could do
Spencer tried to teach me once, and you can fucking do it. I'm gonna put this.
Put it away
over here.
Sorry, I have like
we have various toys around here. You're playing with like. I hate this.
What are you talking about?
We have a bad podcast. I hope Randy Ross likes.
Hello.
I think I was talking about shit.
Yeah.
I'm talking about buttholes.
I'm sorry, I feel bad.
Feel bad for me or the audience?
I just feel bad for you. I feel like you didn't enjoy when I did the Rubik's Cube.
Well, it was, it
was too distracting.
I've seen you do it,
Yeah. So it's boring to you.
A bunch of times.
Yeah.
I don't know. we were in the middle of something.
Yeah, sorry.
But it's okay.
I apologize.
Anyway, I almost shit my pants this morning. It's like the essentially. No, I mean I had like I was like sex with a full diaper essentially.
You made love with a full diaper?
No, like I was like it was loaded. It was like loaded and ready to fire out of my ass. It was like I was like 2 strokes away from just shitting.
So you were making love.
Yeah, and it was just ready to go. Is what I'm saying. It was just like,
why didn't you stop and poop?
Stop having sex to go shit?
Yeah, I guess this is a new new relationship.
Wait, you if
I really had to poop,
having sex and you go, hold on, I gotta go shit, and then you come back and you're like, come on, baby, let's finish this.
No, I wouldn't finish it. I would just be like, sorry, tonight I pooped.
You be farting, right?
I farted recently, and thank God you couldn't hear it.
Oh, you're still worried about her hearing you fart?
While we're boning.
Oh, I was thinking just in general.
No, I think it's funny.
Yeah.
One time I did a prank or a joke on her that I still feel kind of bad about when I think about it.
You farted directly in her mouth?
I farted directly onto her. We were like, I was like,
I almost did a spit take.
We were lying like, I was Little Spoon, she was Big Spoon, and I went skate. I don't feel so good. She goes, what? And I'm like, my stomach. right onto like her abdomen. I just farted on her.
It'd be like fucking Chris Griffin farting in Meg's face.
yeah, dude. I just
punching her in the face.
And I went, and she like, was like, ew, gross.
She was like, ew.
One more. She was like, ew. No, well, I like didn't. As soon as I did it, I felt bad about doing it. I wish I hadn't done it.
Did she think it was funny?
Yeah, she's like, oh, it's okay. Like, imagine I fart on you and then you comfort me. She's like,
sorry, I fucked it up.
That was stupid. That was stupid. Oh my God, I'm an idiot. And she's like, it's okay. I thought it was funny. I'm like, no,
you're such a funny special boy.
And then I just farted on her again.
Yeah. Has she ever had to comfort you in an emotional moment? Have you cried in front of me?
No, I haven't cried in front of her.
I wonder what
she's definitely comforted me. Of course.
Being like, baby, you're fine. Don't be anxious.
Don't be anxious.
That used to be my role in your life.
Don't be embarrassed.
Yeah.
Don't be self-conscious. Don't
you
worry about that.
You was smart.
Yeah.
You was kind.
Yeah.
You was important.
I think the most vulnerable thing that I'm even nervous to say it on the podcast.
Go for it.
Is I was having like intrusive thoughts about her like leaving me, and it made me so anxious and sad and self-conscious.
Oh, just in the same way that like you have gay intrusive thoughts, it popped in of, I'm serious.
Yeah. Well, it would just be like I'd be in like an anxious mood, and I would think about like that I like being in a relationship, it's going good, and I'm like, what if she's secretly unhappy? What if I'm actually
convincing
like
yourself of this narrative that of her thoughts or whatever.
Yeah, like trying to guess at like, was there anything that would mean that, doing this shitty investigation in my brain. It's horrible.
Yeah, that was me with fucking bad breath the other day. Is zero like
real world evidence to support.
Zero evidence and zero consequences. It's like nothing.
Everything was literally fine.
Yeah, but for so long I was like, she fucking thinks I'm stinky.
She's telling everyone she's changing her name or my name in her phone to Stinky Boy.
Stinky breath bitch.
Yeah.
And well, it's like, because I was even thinking like, because I do this thing, if I get insecure about something, I will imagine all the times, all the judgments. I feel like being insecure also makes me super judgmental.
Yeah.
Because, it's like if I'm insecure about my teeth, all of a sudden I'm like, that person has shitty teeth. Or like,
Yeah.
And then now I'm thinking of all the times I've kissed girls and they've had bad breath.
Yeah.
And like what I was thinking where I didn't really care that much, but I also like thought about it, or whatever.
Yeah.
Just putting myself in that shoes. I'm like, that was her to me, dude. I'm a fucking stinky little breath bitch, dude. And then 6 hours passed and I'm like, wait a minute, nothing matters. That was just my brain. Yes. It could have been anything, I feel. It could have been.
Yeah, whatever like little thing might have maybe have gone wrong for you that morning, it would have been the thing.
Yeah, something I said or whatever.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, exactly. Something you said, like, oh, I wore this shirt. Does she think this shirt is stupid? I took a risk with that
I had
shirt.
A pit stain or something. You know?
Dude, yeah, literally anything like that. And I think I already said this, but my therapist told me, he's like, no relationship ever ends because of those things.
Yeah, of course.
Like, relationships end because of people's lives changing.
Yeah.
You know, they end because, like, someone
has been thinking about something for a while.
Or the emotions stop. It's not because they're like, the way he has bad breath in the morning, I just couldn't take it, and I just stopped.
His every single piece of underwear had streaks on it.
Yes.
That one might end it.
Yeah, that might actually end it. But, yeah, it's just like, especially like a budding relationship. You know,
that's the hardest, is because in the beginning there's so much of that guessing and like figuring each other out, and also just being so unsure of everything.
Yeah,
and like waiting for somebody to text you back, and like it's
the worst.
But that's the thing is, when you're in a budding relationship, it's like what I've told people when they're asking for like advice about like, oh, what if she thinks this or whatever, is I'm like, bro, if she likes you, she likes you.
Yes.
If she likes you, then it's gonna work out.
Right.
But if she doesn't like you, there's no convincing. You know what I mean? It's like I get in my head of this thing of like, if something doesn't work out with somebody, and I think what could have changed, or like what could I have done differently or whatever, and the truth is that there's nothing you do differently. Yeah. It's like, it's not like you could adjust one thing and all of a sudden it's fucking fine. But I get convinced of that sometimes.
Right.
I'm like, it was that one text I sent or whatever.
It's usually, and if you think about like the reason you like people or the reason people like you, it's not necessarily, it's something you've probably like fostered over years and years of like, oh, I like that Joe's creative, and I like that Joe is funny, and I like that Joe knows how to have a good time. You know, it's like these big things.
Yeah.
You know, that are like genuinely really attractive things. You know, you sexy little fucker.
Kiss me, baby.
Let's make out. So I'm saying like all those things, you know. Joe's smart. You know, it's not like that's the things. Yeah. You know, or whatever, like all those things. No, that's totally why you like anyone. That's why anyone's your friend. That's why you love anyone.
Yeah. It's not small shit.
It's not, and it's like most of those things, if they bother someone enough, it'll be like a 2-second conversation. And like, I'm trying to think of something specific with my girlfriend, like where she's like, just do this. And I'm like, okay. You know what I mean? Like, it'll be something I don't even know. It's not even something. It's never something it's rarely something I am also self-conscious of.
Yeah.
You know, it's like she's fucking whatever. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
Like my room's a mess,
dude. The slightest piece of criticism, especially at the beginning.
Yeah.
Will drive me nuts, dude.
Right.
I'm just like such a little bitch. Or it would be like a joke, like a non-criticism, and I'd be like, what does she mean by that?
Yeah.
Like this,
Yeah, there's stuff like that too, where like she's like jokingly said like, oh, this is something, and then I'm like, and it's in this kind of funny way she phrased it, and I'm like, wait, is that something I should not do? And she's like, yeah, don't do that. I'm like, okay.
Oh, interesting.
But it wasn't even like a big deal.
I'm always so trepidatious of bringing up of saying, like, asking questions about things that have bothered me. I just try my best to just wait it out until it stops bothering me. Because, I don't want to be like, especially with sexual stuff, too. I think I was having some conversation with a friend who was saying, like, they asked the girl, like, oh, did you come or something like that? I'm like, I try my best not to ask that question, just to avoid just to be the secure fucking dude who has no curiosity because he's secure about.
Well, you don't have to put up that persona, but you can also like come to terms with the idea that, it's fine either way. Like,
that's where I'm at.
I don't know, or just like.
But
I will stop worrying about this in the next couple of hours. It does not need to be a discussion.
Well, the coming thing is a bad. I'm even just thinking about, like, let's say the breath thing was bothering me.
Yeah.
And it took not a lot, because by the time I saw her again, it was like you
won't even think about it.
Wasn't thinking about it.
Yeah.
But at the time, to be like, to come up with like, how do I ask her, like, if what she was actually thinking, or trying to get validation for whatever it is that's going on in my head. I just try my best just to be like, Just let it go.
I've also asked for the validation before, and it doesn't really help that much.
Yeah, no.
Because it's like, well, maybe she's just being nice to me.
Yeah.
Like, there's always going to be some little... It's your brain. It's anxiety.
Yeah,
it's
I've been insecure about something and then have sort of brought it up to make myself feel better.
Yeah.
And usually it's just like... It makes me realize that... It just makes me feel insecure.
Yeah.
It just makes... I was coming off insecure.
Yeah.
She wasn't bothered by that, and I was the only one bothered.
Yes,
you know?
yes. Yeah, I mean, that's something I talked to about my therapist, or talked with my therapist about, because I was telling him, like, I don't like mentioning things that make, I don't like talking about my anxiety. I don't like talking about things that make me feel insecure. Mm-hmm. And he was like, well, it's better she knows than doesn't in a lot of cases. Like, she's probably long accepted that you get anxious sometimes, you get insecure
well, ultimately
sometimes.
You should be talking about your feelings.
Yes.
And how you feel about it, and with the understanding that it's a little silly, whatever it is, and it's going to pass, instead of... Like, there's a difference between saying, I feel bad right now, and saying, like, is there something on my teeth? Or, like, it's... There's specific things that you worry about, but then there's also, like, I think it's very helpful to be open about
emotions.
Yeah, I don't feel good right now, or like I feel anxious, or I feel sad, or whatever.
Yeah, that's the best stuff. Is like, or like sometimes it's especially helpful too, because sometimes I'll think like I'm being like a shitty boyfriend, like I'm not a shitty, like a bad person, but I'm not being very fun right now.
Yeah,
I'm being like lame, and instead of saying, oh, I'm being so lame right now, am I being lame? Instead of saying that, I'll be like, I just feel flat today. Like, I just don't feel very good right now. Mm-hmm. I just feel a little bit bleh.
Yeah, that's more honest even than being like, am I such a fool? You hate being around me right now?
Exactly. Like, that's shitty. But, if I say my brain's being annoying, I feel flat and like a little sad, and I don't really know why. Then my girlfriend's like, oh, I'm sorry, But if you're like, I'm a lame weirdo, I suck. Then it's like, wow, you kind of a pussy right now.
Kind of a little bitch.
You're kind of being a massive pussy. Yeah. That's what she's evil.
Yeah. And then she
she smacks me in the face. I go, no. I go, Sarah,
she gives you a spanking.
Yeah, I go, Skate, please.
She puts you on her knee.
And I go, I've been bad. I've been so bad. Oh, I'm scared. And then she's like, you want mommy spit? And I'm like, what? You want mommy spit? And I'm like, yes. And she spits in my face.
And then she changes your diaper.
And then she changes my diaper. And I say, I poopied.
I made a boom boom.
I made a poopy in my pants. And she's like, ew, you actually did shit yourself. Oopsie poopsie. I made a poopy poop.
Oh, Christoph, it stinks.
Oh, yeah, stinky dinky. I'm stinky dinky right now. She's like, stop with the thing. Like, I'm not. Yeah. This is disgusting. You need to take a shower. Yeah. Oh, is it bath time?
Squab a dub dub. What the fuck? Yeah.
We're talking about our feelings.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I like being vulnerable with a lady. It's funny that the whole Andrew Tate, like, dude, I've been watching like the Fresh and Fit dudes. Not. It's basically like it's Destiny and that guy Sneeko are on it.
Really?
At the same time? I didn't. Yeah.
Interesting.
And I didn't know because Destiny and Sneeko have kind of been dogs. Like Sneeko's just a fucking dumbass, and Destiny's like, "Here's why you're stupid," and Sneeko's like,
But they're friends.
Yeah, they're homies. Kind of. It's like
they're friendly.
Yeah, they're both in Miami, so they like hang out together. And,
that's crazy.
Chill.
I didn't know he was in Miami.
And have like these debates. Yeah.
Why is he in Miami?
He might have been visiting, but Destiny lives there.
Oh.
But I didn't know what Fresh and Fit was before I saw that, and it's the weirdest thing. It's like these panels of like all these Miami club girls, and they talk about like Fresh and Fit are like, here's why men are better, and they're like, no.
Yeah.
And it's like this weird podcast, but. I mean, they had a whole thing about why guys shouldn't ever reveal their emotions to their girlfriends. Yeah. And I'm like, what fucking world do these people... it
just makes you go, what happened to you, man?
Well, it's like, what happened to you, man? And also, why is this so popular? How is this growing in popularity?
is growing
it's
because
people who have never been in an actual relationship.
That, and it's like they're wounded in some way and they can't be vulnerable with much of anyone. And they're scared. And then, and they just, I think a lot of it's anxiety and like this is my guess. It's imagined scenarios. Because I go through a similar, I see the genesis, where you go, I'm scared to open up because I think, this woman's going to use it against me.
That's
or
exactly what they say. Yeah, they're giving them ammo. And they see you as a bitch now.
Yes, exactly. And it's like, well, you don't know that's going to happen. Most people don't do that,
Yeah.
And it's like...
Well, and at the end of the day, they're scared.
Yes.
They're being kind of cowardly about it. Because it is kind of scary and not difficult, but it's like you are really opening yourself up when you open yourself up. It's like you were... I remember we had a conversation years ago about love and about like, it's like, I'm like, isn't it beautiful? Like you open yourself up completely to another person.
Yeah.
Like, I think your metaphor was like, yeah, dude, you're exposing your internal organs.
Yes, you are.
Yeah. But it is true. I mean, even like in the situation I'm in, I mean, it is like, it's so crazy to have just like complete, just like, sort of like contentment or what, just like enjoyment and kind of joy wrapped up with fear.
Yeah.
And just fucking the deeper you go, the more you're like, wait, I can't get back to the surface,
Yeah.
And so I guess you are avoiding all that. You are avoiding conflict and internal conflict and conflict with another person. It's like you can avoid that just by being a fucking little masculine bitch or whatever.
Right. It's just like it's the male ego anxiety thing. It's all the same. It's like courageous to be vulnerable, as corny as that sounds. It is very scary to be honest. It's scary to be open with people.
And to really, because not just you opening to them, but to really like learn about them and to kind of like really get into it with somebody. Yeah. It's so like, it's like, nobody wants to commit, it's like, it's like committing is so, all your options go away and all of a sudden you're. Yeah.
Even like, I mean, even less so that I think with being vulnerable and it's, it doesn't give necessarily the other person like a power over you, but it does let them know who you really are. And if you have to do away with like a portion of your persona, the reason why you have the persona is to protect you. It's to inhibit criticism and rejection and isolation, and when you let someone have that and then they embrace you despite that, or even because of that, then it's fucking real, dude. Then it's
imagine being on Fresh and Fit right now and they're like, nah bro, you can't fucking
I mean, it was like, but if you want to live that way, then
I guess you do you. It's just strange to me that there's so many people
if you're not being cruel to the people that love you, which I can't see how you're kind of not. Yeah. If someone really loves you and tries.
And you see them as this enemy.
Yeah.
That you're giving them
ammo. Yeah. This violent language. It's kind of scary. Like to think there are people like that who are just like wounded, like something happened to you, bro. They're like,
so adversarial or whatever.
Yeah. So confrontational over relationships, which should be like these can be these beautiful, loving, cutesy,
Yeah, going on fucking dates. And, I just couldn't imagine those guys on like a date. Like, I don't know, what is, it blows my mind.
Like going to fucking, going to some concert, you like the music's beautiful, you're dancing with your beautiful girlfriend, and you're just, I don't know, it's just, it's beauty.
Yeah.
And you're just completely avoiding one of the most important, beautiful things in life.
Yeah, I think as far as in my life, going throughout it. I think what I always seek out is just I think the most important thing to me is just connecting with other people and feeling close to people. And throughout my life, people come in and out. I've had various friends throughout time, and sometimes I'm like, this person I'm very close with, or like, your family you can be so close with. And there's all these varying sort of degrees, like an onion, like an ogre.
Yeah.
And
just like an ogre.
Yeah, but because they have layers.
Yeah.
But
that's deep.
I think the closest I've ever feel with people is usually in a sexual setting, or not even sexual, but romantic. Like, whether it be in a relationship or whatever, is just like so close with them, not just emotionally, and that's physically. Often the case, but just physically, just like fucking there. You know what I mean? You're both in the flow and shit.
Yeah. So is it ever like, it's some goofy word that, they put like, it'll be like stock footage of a woman on a train and there's rain and it'll be like, whatever, when you realize that everyone has a life,
Yeah, the Sonder is the
Sonder,
people like,
yeah.
The realization that everybody's life is as vivid and complex as yours.
It's weird, specifically with like intimate relationships like that. I was cuddling with Skate this morning, and I was like, there's just a whole human right here. Like, it's weird. Like, it's like intense,
Yeah, no, it's pretty surreal.
Yeah.
I mean, me and Lauren were having a conversation about the sort of like just comparing ourselves to animals, I was listening to some Rogan thing with some anthropologist guy who's like describing the psychological similarities between like in animals, between like a sexual impulse, like a sexual brain scan or whatever, and aggression. And often those things are so interlinked, especially in the animal kingdom.
Yeah.
It's like you have ferrets. You gave the example of like ferrets, and when you see them buck, it is like they're violent. Like biting each other's necks and stuff like that. But humans totally exhibit that behavior too.
Yeah, of course.
Of like there's aggression is mixed up with sexuality in some strange way.
Yeah.
Whether it be like ferrets biting each other's necks or hair pulling and fucking spanking and shit like that.
Right.
It is like at the end of the day we are still these like animals.
Yeah.
It's like I think that was my thing with AI is like I can't picture AI being anything like humans unless they're horny. and you wouldn't intuitively think to program them to be horny, but I think that's like the only way you can really like then that's the only way like a robot could write a great book or something is if they're horny. Yeah. Is if they have, it's like, because that would be like the missing component or whatever would be like love.
Right.
It's like you gotta, I don't know how you program that.
Yeah.
It's like
sexuality.
Yeah.
It's also that is interesting, the link between aggression and sexuality.
It's like violent, it's like almost just like these two bodies come into conflict with each other at a certain point, but it's like because I mean we're fucking animals,
right?
It's like what Cameron was saying about covering up like evidence of our bodies, you know? It's like I mean clothes is like certainly on some level you cover your ass, I guess, so it doesn't get fucking, I don't know, a hernia from sitting down on the wrong thing or whatever, but I mean, we are covering up evidence of our sexuality, just kind of be like, we're not animals,
right?
And then you get in the bedroom, you take off your clothes, and you're just animals.
And you're growling,
you're making noise and
grunting
fucking,
and moaning and growling and scratching and pull. It's it's.
Damn, I'm getting hard.
I'm getting a straight up boner right now.
But no, it's totally. I mean, I think maybe that's it. Is like. I think once we became self-conscious, once fucking Eve bit that fucking apple.
Dumb bitch.
Dumb cunt. Once we became self-conscious, I mean, that's really where a lot of suffering, at least the way we intellectualize it compared to animals, animals suffer, but they don't feel depressed in the same way we do, or are able to communicate it at least. But but that's the thing is, maybe the sexual act, the reason it's so freeing in term, like, it's like you enter the flow and it's this point of connect. It's like all this shit is because it's like that is maybe one of the examples of us reverting back to our most primal animalistic impulses. Because it's just fucking
right,
which
is probably
removing your clothes and you are
which is like the shame association too.
Because you're felt like an animal for a little bit.
You felt like you were out of control.
Yes,
like you it's like when anything else is, when you revert to like animalistic behavior, it can be really bad. It can, if you fight someone, if you
getting into a fight,
getting into a fight, eating too much, these things that are
even drinking a lot's loss of control. It's like becoming like a fucking
right. And that's why there's shame in like, not that there should be shame. I've had this thing with shame and guilt and like
involved with sex.
No, not involved with sex, but just in my life, just like something I regret doing and feel guilty about. That's okay to do. That's normal and good. It means you have a fucking conscience and you have empathy and you feel bad for the things you've done and you wish you hadn't done them.
Yeah.
But to extend that into, because I did that, I'm a bad person and there's something inherently wrong with me. That's when like shame comes in.
Yeah.
And when it's not okay. Like you can feel guilty about like, watching, let's say, like really violent porn or something.
Yeah.
But if you take that into like, I'm a sicko, I'm a freak.
Well, and that's also interesting because it's internal. There's no nothing. No one else is being harmed or anything.
Right.
It is just you're fighting with yourself. You're like did this thing that only affects me.
Yeah. It also I think it's just a matter of it conflicts with the image you have of yourself. I don't want to be the person who likes fucked up porn. I don't want to be the person who can't stop eating once I start eating bad food, or I don't want to be the person who, let's say, you feel guilty or shameful because you had sex when you had just met someone or something, or you wanted your girlfriend, hypothetically to put a finger in your ass. let's roll that like as I don't know who that might apply to, but maybe you asked your girlfriend the other night to put a finger in your ass and she did, and you really, really liked it. You came harder than you've ever came.
Yeah, and you were looking at a picture of a guy's.
Yeah, and you had a slideshow of like, I don't know, the cast of Avengers or something. I don't know, something like that on the TV going. And maybe specifically you wanted to, do that all the time. Yeah. It's okay to feel guilty about that.
Yeah, I was like, we stretched that so long. I'm like,
what were we talking
remember
about? I don't remember.
What started that train?
No, but to go, I'm a disgusting, pig. I'm subhuman. I'm an animal because I have these urges. It's like, no.
Talk about how beautiful sex is, but it's also like, people get into so much trouble because of their fucking horniness. You know what I mean? It's like, we were talking about one of our favorite comics.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, it is, it's so, well, with any impulse, we are constantly in such a struggle with our own desires, which is so weird to me that intellectually you can want to be a certain way and not be able to do it just because your body wants other things.
Yeah, because, because of some shit that happened when you were 6 years old.
Yeah.
A clown came to your birthday party and the way the balloons squeaked together, like it did something, and that same day you watched porn for the first time, and now
there's a million things that day that
you can't look at clowns now without getting a boner, and you want your girlfriend to, I don't know, hypothetically like wear clown makeup and a clown nose and a rainbow afro wig, just stuff that maybe somewhere someone might feel that way. Not me. But someone might want that. And, maybe you call your girlfriend Bobo.
Do you feel guilty? Well, you do, actually. I know this. Feel guilty about your dreams?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's bizarre. Because that you have no control over.
Exactly.
It's just images that are presented to you in your sleep.
Yeah. It's fucked up. Yeah, it's just like...
I've had weird... Dude,
I've just done bad things in dreams. Like, I've hurt people in dreams and then woken up like, oh, no, I fucking did this. I punched my mom in my dream. And it's like, yeah, but you didn't actually punch your mother.
Yeah. You're like, no, I'm fucked up, man. I'm fucked up.
I'm sick of the fucking head.
I'm damn it. But, no, I've been having vivid-ass dreams recently.
Yeah?
And some of them get a little weird. Some of them get a little, like, fucking...
Yeah?
Not even violent or anything. Just like just like gross.
Can you share any or
no.
is okay?
Well, I mean, I've had like gay dreams and like incestual dreams and like it's like shit in that territory.
Yeah.
Just like fucking why?
Yeah, why is this? That's one I've felt bad about. Is like, just
having straight dreams.
Gay dreams, dude. I've had gay dreams, and I'm like, why did I have this gay dream? I'm not gay.
I saw a clip of Shane Gillis revealing that he had a gay dream.
Yeah.
He sucked his friend's dick.
Yeah.
I think I had the same dream once of getting my dick sucked by a buddy.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, why fucking really? Why?
You're so pissed off at your brain.
Yeah, dude.
No, I've definitely
What's with
had
this iceberg shit, dude.
Similar dreams to that. Just like I'm making out with my friend, and I'm like, ooh, yeah, ooh, and then I wake up, I'm like, oh.
I wonder what your brain is trying to get at or trying to express with all this shit.
I think it's in some ways, like some sort of like anxiety.
And that's a lot of dreams. Is just they're like expressions of anxiety.
Yeah, I think I had gay dreams about an old friend of mine, and I remember having like, this was in college, and I was having like weird sexuality questions about myself. Mm-hmm. What if I'm gay? What if I'm gay? What if I'm gay? And then I have a dream that's like you're gay.
An intrusive thought when I was like, I think when I first started smoking weed or whatever. I mean, there was a period where I was only watching lesbian porn. Just to sort of like be like, I'm not gay.
You're like, I only watch gay porn with girls.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, I'm like, if I get a boner to this, then that's proof. That's empirical.
But none of that even, I don't know. I think a lot of people have a good point when they're like, we just need to change like society's view of this, because you can just, it's that image of yourself idea, and it's like, there's nothing inherently wrong with, having these certain like tastes for porn or whatever it is. Yeah. Like, I mean, it's
such a binary where it's like, if you suck one dick, you're gay.
Yeah. That's bad. Or just like,
but then in my head, I'm like, if you suck a dick, it's pretty gay.
I mean, it is a gay action.
Yeah,
but the same way you can do something gay, or you can do something that would land you in a category, it doesn't make you gay. It doesn't,
exactly.
It's like if I played an open mic, if I put a music open mic, am I a singer now? It's like, no. Mm-hmm. I just tried it to see if I liked it.
That's my dad. That's like an old joke my dad had. What's the difference between like golf and being gay or something like that?
What?
And it's like you could golf your entire life and never really be a golfer.
Yeah.
And you suck one dick, you're a cocksucker. Some shit like that.
Yeah, that's
probably mess it up, but
no, that's a classic joke.
Yeah.
It's like I forgot how it goes, but it's something. It's like how you get a nickname or something like that. It's like some guy's like, I hate my nickname, and then it's like, I've been playing, the guitar all my life. No one calls me like Guitar Man. I have red hair. No one calls me Ginger or Redhead. But you fuck one sheep.
Yeah. Yeah.
And all of a sudden you're a sheep fucker. That's something like that.
Yeah. No, that's a classic.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, I mean, I think because that's the thing is ultimately it's like the category stuff. It's like maybe once those start to go away, it's like, yeah, who gives a fuck? I mean, yeah,
they become less and less meaningful, and there's a lot of ones that not necessarily should be done away with, but like are so stringent that it's like, why is this so important?
Well, it's social, I guess, is like, I don't know, if you're like perceived as gay, maybe it's harder to identify as, I don't know, whatever. It's like you want to hold up like whatever identity you want to have,
Yeah.
But so it's not just like, you can be as cool as you want with sexuality and whatever, but if you get insecure about shit, then it's like, or like, it's like, what? I'm not gay. It's like you just want other people to like you and like accept you and like.
Yeah, it reminds me of what Cameron was talking about in terms of like Jewish people not eating pork or whatever, and it's just like these demarcations of identity.
Yeah.
And I think it comes down to that, and I think someone decided at some point, somewhat not arbitrarily then, but it becomes arbitrary over time. Like, if you do X, then you're gay. And you can be labeled gay. If you, if you're a woman, then you're irrational because you're a woman and that's what they are. And it's easier to just put this onto them or whatever. But nowadays you're like, well, it's not really true. We can see over time that this demarcation of identity doesn't actually mark anything. Really, it's just a kind of a relic, and then it just goes away, and then it gets replaced with something else. But that's the fear, though, of conservatives, right? Is that like we'll erode all these, and we'll be
traditional values,
and then we'll be without an identity. Is like the fear, and people will, revert into chaos, and God is dead, and
been a thing
yada
since,
yada yada
free
yada.
love and shit like that. Of like,
exactly.
Who gives a fuck, man? I mean, like casual sex being such a new kind of like. I mean, not even new, but like dating and all that has changed so much in like 50 years. And, and like Jordan Peterson's always going on and on about sort of like the dangers of casual sex or women working with men.
Yeah. And you're like, should we be like stodgy 50? Like, I don't know. I've seen like some movement online, a little bit of just like people being like, oh, I'm anti-debauchery. Like, I'm socially conservative. I think women should dress modestly, blah, 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 and stuff like this. Like, we need to revert to these values and it's like, for what real reason? It's like, I don't really, because it protects people like emotionally from casual sex. Like, can't we just let people figure that out? Like, is it?
Yeah, I mean, so much of what guides my sort of like political temperament or like just like views on like just take or like a lot of what guides me is just like whatever feels good. Yeah. And like whatever feels cool. It's like oftentimes so much of my judgments about shit is just like, does that guy look cool? Yeah. I'll listen to him. He seems cool. That guy seems like kind of a loser. I don't want to. Or like, oh, that thing they're doing, like that seems cool to me. I want to do that. Oh, that guy who's like being lame about it, I don't want to fucking it's like, I don't know. I'm just so guided by my intuition with that kind of stuff of like.
Yeah, but I always wonder like how much of that is influenced. It's all just, I mean, a lot of that's just your environment or like what you've been told is cool, what you've been told is lame.
Certainly, yeah, or like my own sort of idea that I've constructed about what based on like people I've admired throughout my life or whatever.
What did they do? Yeah. And even that's social.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, everybody's different as far as because I mean, it's like some people think Ben Shapiro is cool, and I will never understand that.
No one could be less cool.
Yeah, or people think like Andrew Tate is like fucking cool, and it's like that's true, but
yeah, he's the top G, dude. He's a fucking he's the swag master.
Yeah,
but that's so funny. Like hearing, I haven't really consumed very much Andrew Tate stuff at all, almost nothing. But
I just see whatever's forced it down my throat on TikTok.
Yeah, but he'll just be like, men are lonely and hurt and blah blah blah, blah just, cry out to this crisis of masculinity or whatever. And part of me is just like, how does this not transparently reveal how he feels? Like where his
he's just deeply unhappy.
He's deeply unhappy and he has low self-esteem and he's insecure and he overcompensates.
And how is that not so obvious to everyone watching?
Yeah, it's just such a clear cope, and it's like, why does this like I think what it does is it gives like a recipe for others to cope.
Yeah, well, I mean, the message that he's preaching also is also just so intuitively, obviously misguided and wrong. Yeah. On a basic level, if you say it out loud, it just should sound wrong to you.
Right,
like,
and that's why
a Bugatti is not going to make you happy. You know what I mean? Yes. It's like, why do you think it's like, it's literally like, the classic thing of like somebody on their deathbed being like, it's like, I've learned all these things and it's that you can't, all your friends, all your family, it doesn't matter. Money is, it's like, no, that's clearly wrong.
How awesome would that be though?
That was in New Girl,
oh really?
That's where Schmidt like developed his sort of like life outlook, is like he had this like boss that was like his like idol, and he was on his deathbed, and he's like, you can't take anything with you. Life is about making money. and but it's like, the joke is that it's the opposite of what's true. Yeah. I mean, it's like, even like Jake Paul is saying like, he shouldn't be out here telling kids that the only way they can be happy is if they have a fucking Bugatti or if they're like fucking a bunch of girls or whatever. It's like, these are just so I mean, I'm almost maybe the appeal of it is how contrarian it is to just
that is it.
You know, it's like because it just sounds so stupid and so wrong, and people go like, well, maybe that's what makes it right. You know, all these people are telling us it's wrong.
Well, that was a funny. This guy I follow on TikTok. Fuck, I can't remember his name right now, but he was I think it's Soiled Plants is his name. Mm-hmm. And he's just like a funny, kind of smart guy, young guy. And he was talking about like Andrew Tate if he wrote Plato's allegory of the cave.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, it's real. No, the shadows are real people. I think I
saw that somewhere.
That if I look at the shadows and I see that's real.
Yeah.
It's like, that's because it's just, he's like, how could your first instinct about something be wrong? How is my first gut feeling, my first thought based on my gut feelings, how could that be wrong? And it's like, when is that not wrong? It's like you have some feeling, then you assign a thought to it, and that thought is usually fucking dumb.
Yeah.
It's like usually I feel anxious because I think my girlfriend thinks my breath stinks, and that's she must think it stinks then.
Yeah.
That must be right because I got a feeling and then I assigned a thought to it.
Yeah,
it's like
I have a feeling that women aren't people and don't deserve rights, and so
women make me frustrated and angry and sad,
and scared, and they've hurt me. And
yes.
And it makes me feel small, and so they're they shouldn't drive.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
dude.
like the logic.
It's like you're insane.
Yeah,
you are just batshit crazy. But it's that
back to my thing of like the Fresh and Fit, where I'm like, how is this philosophy and this fucking message connecting with people?
Yeah,
like how is this? I mean, maybe everyone is just so lonely and sad and scared, like Andrew Tate. And
of course,
yeah, and so maybe that's the entire thing.
Of course, everyone's lonely and sad and scared.
Yeah. But I don't know how you go to Tate and not like fucking, I don't know.
It validates the lonely, sad, and scaredness. And it also gives you like this outlet of so righteous anger. Yeah.
It's not based on anything true. Like,
yeah.
I mean, Tate maybe is saying these things based off his lived experience of having Bugattis and having a lot of money and like, being in fucking threesomes all the time or whatever. So he lives this fucking top G lifestyle. But it's like, but none of the people that are repeating these things have anywhere none of this is coming from their lived experience.
Well, they have a fantasy that they could.
Yeah.
And so they indulge in that fantasy.
Yeah.
Whoa, that thunder was a lot.
Yeah, that's fucking God.
Wow.
Like, stop talking shit about Andrew Tate.
I love Andrew Tate. He's actually my son. It was not Jesus Christ. It was Andrew.
We go back to the Bible. I guess this was.
How did people
get,
it says here that
Jesus
was top G.
Yeah.
And he fucking punched Mary Magdalene.
Yeah. Well, it's like Sneeko is some like 23-year-old internet guy. It's like, I mean, I guess it's working for him. He's on that hustle. He's on that grind. He's blowing up. But at the same time, it's like he is just revealing himself as fucking sad and scared and shit. And it's like, but at the same time, Sneeko is not Andrew Tate. Sneeko is like a kid.
Yeah, he's just
and
a guy.
It's just weird that we're all putting on this costume.
Well, what's unfortunate is that you have guys like Tate who they're snake oil salesmen. They appear to offer a solution to this sad, scared, lonely feelings.
They're selling you their pyramid scheme.
And they're literally sometimes selling you something.
Yeah.
I mean, they're always selling you something.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes they're not just selling a brand or an identity or, that's all part of it. But they're also like, give me $45.
Yeah.
But, the reality to just say, I don't have solutions. I don't know. I'm also scared and lonely. Like, what is Andrew Tate going to get out of that?
Well, yeah, I mean,
besides like knowing himself.
Also, if that was the message too, that really isn't as appealing. I guess
it's not appealing at all.
You can have this Bugatti. It's much more. I mean, it's like being vulnerable.
Yes,
it's like that's what they're not doing.
Yes,
is saying I don't know.
Yeah,
and asking questions.
Yes,
and saying I am afraid or like,
right. It's very unsexy.
Yeah,
and I want my girlfriend to think I'm sexy.
Yeah.
So when I tell her I feel depressed today, I'm not going to be the funnest guy in the room. like I always am, then, it destroys this image, this brand, this identity that I've created for myself, or I created as myself for her.
Yeah.
And I think she's going to be disappointed and saddened. And like anyone who is and can't, like, you know what I mean? If you can't take me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best.
Yeah.
Like straight up, Marilyn Monroe said that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if this is a deep thought, but it's like
Probably not.
poo poo and pee pee are smelly and stinky. No.
Wait, what?
No, it's well, like, yeah, I mean, being vulnerable and exposing yourself, it is like,
yeah,
it is standing naked as opposed to wearing this fucking suit of armor.
Yeah.
Like armor is even too good of a word. This fucking hazmat suit or something of just trying desperately not to let anybody see your fucking your naked vulnerable self.
Right, and that's like even like people who, I don't know, it makes me think of people who are like very obsessed with like how they dress and like, I mean, there's a cool like artistic expression.
A cool car or like,
yeah.
I mean, it's all some form of seduction or something.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, that's like Louis' bit that I don't even know if it was on a special, the cicada bit.
Yeah.
Whereas like every cicada you hear is just yelling, fuck me, fuck me, fuck me,
yeah,
fuck
yeah,
me.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
over there, like, fuck me, fuck me. And that's how animals communicate. I think this was in the conversation with Lauren about animals and stuff like that, is like maybe in the same way that we get Bugattis and we get fucking, we dress nice or we do certain things, we do stand up or whatever it is we do. I mean, in some ways, it's all just some form of seduction or some form of like, I mean, maybe having a cool Bugatti is the same thing as the peacock with the coolest fucking
feathers,
rose feathers or whatever. Yeah. And that even goes back to my point about AI of like, is you need, I mean, like so much of our behavior, I don't know, maybe it's just some Freudian fucking antiquated thing, but it's so much of our behavior is dictated by sex.
Yeah.
And by sexual drive and by like anything. Yeah. Everything we do in some way, I feel like is to be attractive in some way.
Yeah.
In some vague sense.
I think that's true. I think the big, what do they call it? Biological necessity or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's some argument that you can boil everything down to like some biological urge, which is like obviously true, but it can be like a fallacious argument when you start saying like, well, that's nature. It's like, well, no, it's like,
well, that often leads into like, well, it's supposed to be like that because it's supposed to be like that because it's nature. And
yes.
It's supposed to be,
it's literally the argument is it's supposed to be like that because it's supposed to be like that. It just loops on itself. It's like, no, women having, I'm trying to think of like a specific example.
The gay one is like, people being like, well, it's not natural.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, what
the
fuck?
First of all, obviously
even
natural.
if you can make the argument it's natural, but also it's like, that doesn't fucking, what do you
It's stupid.
Yeah, or like trans thing is like, that fucking dumbass Sargon of Akkad, I heard him talking about.
Yeah, he's
like,
a goofball.
Where he's just like, is a biological necessity, because there's a biological necessity, and then you just be questioning is, well, because of biological imperative, and it's like, the word imperative does not
make you right.
Make you fucking smart. It's like, no, that's not a real, they make you uncomfortable.
Yeah, but it's also like, it's like arguing it's like making something so base in general. I don't know what this is, but it's like, if you appeal to like some big fat truth and because your little truth kind of fits into it, then all of a sudden your argument's right because it's associated with this obvious thing. And it's like, no, there were like 18 steps you took and you're not admitting it. Like,
well, yeah, I mean, it's a lot harder to form like complicated sort of arguments and thoughts and stuff like that. It's much easier to hold on to these kind of like, even with like, I don't know, the philosophy when I read it gets so fucking weird.
Right.
And it's much easier just to look at bumper stickers sometimes. Just to be like, one foot in front of the other.
Yeah,
like
maxims, dude.
As opposed to being
if
like,
something can go right, it will.
Yeah. Or like, dude, the reason the universe is circular is because God is actually gay. And it's like all this like mystical bullshit that it's like there's so many steps just to say one foot in front of the other. You know what I mean? So oftentimes it is so much easier to reach for those simple, capital T truths, dog.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, there's certain just like basic philosophies that I think drive like most of my thoughts or behaviors or whatever.
There was that line in 4th of July I did like where he's the sponsor, and then he's like, when do I get to where you are? And he's like, what? And he's like, when I start speaking in fucking bumper stickers.
Yeah.
And then he's like, well, they're cliche, but they're cliche for a reason. And I'm like, I'm glad that's
it's kind of
in people's minds.
Jest, you know, it's like that's a lot of it is this kind of the AA shit, and it's all.
I feel like we've been going a while.
I think we have.